Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett. Disney Plus's The Book of Boba Fett. This was an interesting ride. When I was a kid, I used to watch Star Wars movies, and I always thought Boba Fett was the coolest of all of them because he seemed so menacing when he was standing around. I thought that eventually one day, like he and Darth Vader were going to fight, and that would have been pretty cool. But it turns out that his people did fight, Jedi and Sith. So my dreams came true. I just didn't see it on screen. But we probably will. When The Mandalorian came out, it gave me a good idea of what it would look like if Boba Fett were still around. And then when they introduced Boba Fett, it was like that touchdown thing. Yeah! So I was really excited. Boba Fett kind of died in the Star Wars movies. He fell off the edge of the little ship and he fell into the sand monster's mouth. And I was like, oh, well, he's dead. Unless he uses his rocket and flies out, and he didn't. The thing burped, so I was like, whoa, boy, he's gone. But in the Book of Boba Fett, they explain why he was not gone. He actually escaped that thing probably while they were still up in the air fighting. He was only in there for a few seconds, really. Shut up. He was only in that thing's mouth for just a few seconds. Maybe a minute. And he escaped, as you would now expect a Mandalorian to do, now that we know a little bit more about him. And it was good to know that he got out and get an idea of how he got out. That was kind of cool. And he was about maybe a few days, maybe a week into his journey of leaving that creature. And that's where he is now as Boss Fett, which is kind of cool, kind of a cool title. He's taking the place of Jabba the Hutt, which I think is going to draw conflict because Jabba, the Hutt, is one of the Hutts, plural. It's like a mafia organization. There's a bunch of Hutts that control different places. And Jabba controlled that place. So when he got taken out, apparently he was taken out, for a while, I guess. But when he got taken out, it would seem that the other Hutts would be curious what's going on with that property that they used to own as part of their family. So I think he's going to have to fight them or pay tribute or something. They've got to bring in the fact that there was more than one Hutt in this mafia family. That was Jabba. But there's more of them. They're all over the place. Big, fat, troll, slimy lizard things all over the place. So he's probably going to have to fight those guys. Now, the other bosses that are up under him that are supposed to be paying tribute like they did to Jabba, Jabba was merciless. Jabba would kill you. He'd throw you in the dungeon with the giant creature that Luke fought, and you'd have to fight that thing or die. Jabba didn't care. You say the wrong thing, boom, into the pit. But Jabba's not here anymore. So nobody has that fear like they had. And even though Boba Fett is a Mandalorian and he's a dangerous dude, people still kind of see him as Jabba's little sidekick, henchman. He was the muscle. So how is he going to threaten us? He don't know nothing about nothing. And it turns out that he doesn't really know a lot. His assassin is telling him all of the gangster protocols. And he didn't know nothing about that stuff. And I'm thinking, how'd you not know that? You worked for Jabba, at least for a while. You didn't know any of the protocols? You never watched nothing? You just kind of waited for your chance to shoot somebody? I don't know. Questions. I got a lot of questions. Will a Mandalorian show up here? Will Yoda show up? What about a Jedi? I'm curious. I have questions. But it looks like it might be interesting. The first book, the first episode, looked good because it opened up a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions, and hopefully they don't Hawkeye this thing and not answer everything by the end of the show. Hopefully you have a lot of answers, because I'd like to know what's going on. But it was good. I think it was so good that I would give the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett seven solid bags of popcorn. 7 bags of popcorn. It was good. I am a fan. I just had too many questions to give it anything higher. 7 bags of popcorn, man, because that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? Now that you've seen the video, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn Passport.